Burkowski here, folks, and as you don't know, I've taken you on many a tour of places in the tour I'm going to show you in this video of America, which is a very strange and primitive world. We've shown you Taylor, music, all parts of this strange place called America. But now I'm taking you to the whole thing. And it's odd. It's a very primitive and very barbaric place where the species are very primitive and very caveman and very troglodyte and Neanderthal. Where it's actually not even more so. They call it a country, but it's really I don't. Our experts here can't really consider it a country. It's more of a shrine, because a country would mean, a productive society of good and progress. But there is no progress in this world. It's very strange, and it's a shrine. It's more of a museum. Their military has literally stolen all this land of this continent to literally just make a museum of a shrine of some sort of flag symbol that they worship. And they wear it on their hats, shoes, underwear, everything. You can't even leave your house without wearing some sort of thing of this flag. And it's funny because they had a civil war between the two where they were going to split into two different countries at some point, where there was another flag, and they banned that flag due to saying of racism, called the Confederacy, which would have just been the flag of the other country. It's not even really racist, because the one that they're keeping, that they call the American flag, is just as racist because it's older than that Confederate flag, because it's from 1775 or whatever. And this Confederate flag is from the 1860s or whatever, when it was going to split to another country. But they banned that one due to its recognition in their minds to racism. But what about the other flag that was waved by all slave owners who are racist people? They're the people don't think very well, and they just pick and choose what they want and don't do anything factual. There's no progress. They don't actually make any progress in this world. It makes no sense. Keep one racist flag, but get rid of another one. Go figure. Also, this American flag that they put all over themselves and worship, they put it all over their buildings, all over. They put it on every inch of every grass, their porch, everywhere. So this flag that they made this land that they stole into a giant museum shrine to just show it everywhere is a flag that they proudly waved their military in the 1800s while slaughtering all the native people that were here first. And they say, oh, we're not racist, and they say on how our army does good and we care about people, but it's funny because they only love their army when they help fellow Americans. There's a time, September 11th, 2001, there was an airplane that went through a building, went through the Twin Towers of their New York City in this country, and it was a tragedy because Americans died, which is, people dying, it's terrible, but they only care about them. But their same military soldiers in the 1800s and their presidents and their so-called, heroes can literally slaughter all the native people that were there first. And if they didn't kill them, they just dumped them all into reservations where they can't move from that little spot. It's like if I stole your house and then just gave you a small cubicle of your backyard to live in. Just because, I just felt like it. But they're heroes. Very odd. And they say, the black, and they have all these African people that were here because they were enslaved and brought over from Africa, and now they have adopted everything English because this country, America, they fought against this country called England, and they don't like England. They broke away from it, saying they're not going to do anything with England anymore. But it's very funny because everything about these people in America are English. Their Jesus they worship is English. That the King James of England, who they fought against, had Michelangelo paint to make him white out of racism. So they worship this English Jesus, who had the look of English people then. All the rules and religion and Catholic they go by is from the King James of England Bible. the language they force you to speak, a local will say to you, said to me, "This is America. You gotta speak English." But where does English come from? England. All the people from here are all European immigrants, or, everything else. But they're stripped of their heritage and forced to have everything English of a country they left. Truly bizarre. Very, very primitive. How they don't seem to understand any contradiction or anything they do. And then if you bring it up to them, they get very angry and try to hurt me. And you'll see my slides of all this. And the land, they say on how they hate a dictator called Adolf Hitler because he went and took over Germany and killed all these Jew people, the Jews. But yet, they're proud to call their land, this shrine, America, which is an explorer named Amerigo. So they're proud, who came over here, left a diary on how nice the native people that were here first, and then went back, and which led to them coming over and killing all the people here. And it's funny. So all the people are just stripped of everything and just become English, but they're not English. They go on about Black Rights Matter and black people, who are the African people. But there's the people of all the racism, the natives right here, who they slaughtered and killed all the land and just put them in reservations. Nowhere are they ever mentioned in anything racist. And it's funny, they had a whole ordeal on how it's racist to call these people redskins, but they call the African people black skins, and they're called white skins to ignore the fact that they're from Europe. They go on about their heritage. I'm Irish. I'm half this. All countries from Europe. But if you say, "Oh, you're European," they say, "No, I'm American." Strange people. Strange people. Doesn't make sense with anything. When I hit the streets, I had to have some sort of symbol of their flag, or, well, you can get away with wearing sheep pants, get it? Because they're all sheep that just conform to, whatever. So anyway, I brought all this up because these are all just contradictions that I've discovered in this strange land that is really just stolen property to make a shrine for a racist flag that was waved to kill these people by their own army and military. But they just say, "Oh, no, it's okay, it's cool, because we killed Hitler." Okay, so I'll show you the slideshows, and then we'll get on the town, and I'll show you some of the sights of really this shrine. All right. This is truly, you heard of the 8 wonders of the world that nobody could explain. Like the Egyptian, all the 8 wonders of the world. This is the 9th wonder of the world. This country, we call it in modern society a country, makes no sense. It's truly bizarre. This species is truly the 9th wonder of the world, and this video will show all the American companies that this video is brought to you by. Go to the slideshow. There's one thing I want to warn you, though. There is a business in America that is truly disturbing. So disturbing that it actually made me puke for several hours, to where I stumbled into a dark alley, continued puking for several hours, until a homeless man came over with a fork and knife and had American Thanksgiving. It is American Eagle. The company is one of the most popular companies in this country, called America. But when you see the name of it, these people are so primitive they can't even understand what they're saying, and when you point it out, they just get angry and say, "Well, I like it anyway." That's an exact quote, by the way. And he punched me. American Eagle. Okay? Calling these native people that they slaughtered and took the land off, calling them Americans, is calling them who killed them. It's like calling a Jew a native Hitler. So they call it American and Eagle. See, the bald eagle was a proud family crest of the tribes of these people. So they literally killed them, same thing with the buffalo, and mocked them by using the eagle as their logo, just to rub it in. And they have no problem with that. So they have American Eagle. That'd be like if you had a family crest. I kill everyone in your house and family, take over your house and your family crest, and there's no problem with it. Truly barbaric people. I mean, in Star Trek, you think the Klingons are disturbing. Woo! check out America. All right, so I just wanted to warn you on that. And there's another thing. They got this fancy electronic thing that entertains them. They're these sunglasses, and they make that flag that they worship just appear on white canvas. I'll show you that. Truly disturbing. Okay. You're literally surrounded. You can't look to your left, or your right, or down there, or over here. There's even one growing out of my armpit. Oh my God. They're everywhere. Moving on.
No.
Now, what's truly disturbing about this American species is that they talk about this zombie apocalypse, you know what I mean, taking over, and they don't even realize that the zombie apocalypse is them, because you can't even go anywhere. You can't even point out any flaw with the American flag without a light bulb going off in their head and triggering some kind of snapping. Must destroy you now. They're literally owned and controlled by this symbol. They even are so convinced that God, who they worship and go to church, Their American flag is in a churchyard. The ultimate contradiction, okay? They literally slaughtered all the people that were here. The U.S. Army, right? You know, I'm pretty sure God doesn't, you know, or Jesus believe in killing anyone and stealing and harboring stolen land. Oh, but they literally think somehow they blocked it out, or that they're God's gift to the world, and they had to take this land and murder them, and Americans. And they call themselves, they go on about how they hate Hitler and how they killed Hitler, but their name is after an explorer, Amerigo Vespucci, who started the whole thing, Americans. And they have it in a churchyard of God and Jesus. Beautiful. It's a very strange land here. Truly disturbing. Moving on. The American species is so controlled by this symbol, this flag, that they turn every single thing into it and put it everywhere, and everywhere it is a shrine, whether it's festive balloons, flag, or these, normally even, you know, whatever these, race flags. Everything has to be this flag for them, or they seem to snap into some kind of like they need a fix, like it's a drug, you know. That's why I'm keeping this in my hands right now, so in case one comes near me, he won't bite me, or I could just give it to him and he'll just leave me alone. Take it, just. I'm sick. I'm good. Moving on. It's not all red, white, and blue and bad, though. Sometimes you find lunch on the street.
Yep.
Am I clear?
Yeah.
Even when you want to take a rest. Are we recording right now?
Yeah.
Okay, good. Oh. Even if you want to take a rest after a good long day of worshiping the flag everywhere you go, you sit on a bench. But American benches, they're not very comfortable. Oh yeah. Oh, it's in there. It's in there. Oh, I'm comfortable in America. Woo! Moving on. Children's parks are supposed to be fun, but in America, well, they can be kind of dangerous. And let's just say that people were hurt. Well, I was hurt in the filming of this tour video, yes. So let's try out an American park or slide. Woo! Woo! Oh! I mean, with the giant shrine of American flags every 5 inches everywhere you go. I mean, nobody is an anal virgin around here because, well, they fall and they get in your asshole. You go down the slide, they end up in your crotch. Oh. They're everywhere. Oh. All right, moving on. There's a library in America where they tell you half the truth and really nothing and hide all the parts where we actually murdered and stole everything and are all scumbags. Or they are, I should say. Woo! All basically right here. Oh God. Oh, Brittany. Oh. It's up my ass again. You can't go anywhere around here. You wanna pull it out of my... Oh. Whew. Oh. Okay, moving on. And if you're not tripping over them, they're all in your face. You just can't get away from them. But you know what's good though? You could really use it to blow your nose. Let me know when you hit yeah.
I hit it.
Okay, folks, right there. You see the United States Army, right? That's the real name of America. The United States of the continent, right? That was stolen. Okay, see that date? What's that say? 1775. Everybody acts like the U.S. Army only started in like the 40s when it's convenient to where they think they're great heroes. Oh, we saved the world. We killed Adolf Hitler. Blah, blah, blah. No. The U.S. Army is the exact same army as then, and it was started in 1775, and they only tell you the convenient parts, like, oh, we killed Hitler. Okay, in the 1800s, our own army was ordered to kill all the natives, and that's the reason why we have all these states going west, when originally we just had New England. The 13 original colonies, correct? So then, our own army, from 1775 to 2017, not to, it's a different army, it's not the same thing. That's everybody's excuses. All these Americans make their excuses. No, you only want to say the convenient parts. Your same heroes that killed Hitler also destroyed all those innocent people and stole all that land, and it's like, and then they say, oh well, I didn't do it. Well, let's say if you're in the army right now, you're part of the exact same army that did it then, because it's the exact same army started then. It's like if I'm in a gang and they killed a bunch of people 20 years ago, and now I'm in the gang. I'm in the same gang, and you're guilty by association because you associate with this country, with that army, and you have your houses on the stolen land. So you're harboring stolen goods. It's like if I robbed a bank and then gave you the money. You're using the stolen money. That's the stolen land of this country. And so there's your proof right there where it's even saying. And right here, folks, this is very charming. This is where Americans come. You'll notice that there's a lot of poles. These are actually stripper poles, or actually humping poles. See all these? This is so many people, it's like a restroom, could hump and worship this country as sheep all at once. So you could have up to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. You could have up to 8 people. Now here's the positioning. So you get your crotch right there, and you really see that's an up to 8 people. It's a worshiping spot. I think it's funny because John Lennon of the Beatles once said, of the band The Beatles, the Beatles once said that they were bigger than Jesus because of how popular and huge they got. And then everybody got mad at them because he said about being bigger than Jesus, and they took it as an insult, and so they destroyed all the Beatles records at one time. But isn't it funny that it's not that the Beatles are bigger than Jesus? Remember when you'd see the crucifix or the cross or Jesus everywhere? It's now the great American flag is bigger than Jesus. People are worshiping the American flag. It's everywhere. Every inch, everywhere. The American flag is now a religion, and it's bigger than Jesus. I have to wear this shirt. Look at what everybody does. You can't go anywhere without people wearing it with it all over the place. Look at her. Look at this. What's this? Her nails. Every inch. The American flag. You can't go anywhere without seeing somebody wearing the shirt, the hats. They have American flag shoes. They have just everything. But they don't make it into anything useful. Like, gee, maybe like a tissue? Oh. And people are like, oh my God, how could you do that to the American flag? Don't you get it? All these people. There was a story where these people named their baby Adolf, which is a regular, German name or whatever, like Bob. There's many. It wasn't named after Adolf Hitler. It's a regular first name. They actually took the baby away from them because they named it Adolf. Because it's like, oh, you named the baby after Hitler. Oh, everything's about Hitler. But there are people naming their children, their girls, every day here, America. Because America is the twisted name of Amerigo, where they just feminized it to America here, and it's actually you're just calling yourself an Amerigo Vespucci, who's the explorer, who came over here first before Columbus, saw how great it was, and then that was the whole link to us stealing it all. Yeah, that's fantastic. So you murder the natives, and then you call them Native Americans, Native Americans. So you're basically calling them who started the whole thing on killing them. So that's like calling a Jew a Hitler. And that's how, so don't tell me that I'm wrong. I'm the one who's right here and who's standing up for something good. It's just that you've been told this your whole life. So, Native Americos, you're a proud Amerigo. And your military murdered all innocent people, and so you have you're the one profiting over all the stolen shit now. So that's all this is so great and to be proud of. So Donald Trump, right? He's like, let's make America great again. Well, okay, I love that though, as if it was at one point. The further you go back in history, the further it's more racist, more discriminating, with less rights for people and segregation. And so how could you say something was good if it never was? One. And so, and you know, people buy this shit. So that's that. So this is your stripper pole humping shrine area here. People, you know, they come here for about 2-3 hours a time. You know, it's like going to the beach. Hump a pole. America. Moving on. This is Mad Magazine. This is probably the most open-minded and deep and best magazine you're gonna get in this country that talks about all the corruption and says it like it is. But guess what? Just like Democrats, just like Republicans, everybody who they fight, Democrats fight Republicans, and these people fight with. Guess what? At the end of the day, what is everybody? At the end of the day, they're still an American. They still think that it's their land, and they're just saying, oh, well, I don't like Trump, but I do it differently, and it's still my country. They're still an American at the end of the day. Nobody denounces it completely because of the fact that it is stolen, and it's all corrupt. It's all inherited, stolen land. Just like if I stole $1 billion and my grandkids inherited it 100 years later. It is. Why can't people comprehend that and the fact that your own army did it? Everyone thinks Abraham Lincoln now because they keep glamorizing him and everything, that he's this great guy. Even after everything he said, no African person they're subhuman, he said, and they'll never be equal to a white person. That's how stupid people are thinking. And I love how this country, just like I was saying about the Hitler in the America thing, how girls are named America after America, and you might as well name him Hitler then, and Columbus. But, and I think that's funny, and how they think another example is Andrew Jackson, and here's your proof right here for all the people thinking you're just being a nasty. No. They're horrible people. Look, Andrew Jackson evicted more than 15,000 Cherokee natives from the Southeast. There's your proof right there. See, these magazines, everybody knows all the history, Amerigo Vespucci, but they still justify it in their warped mind thinking, oh, well, I didn't do it, or that's the past. What do you mean it's the past? If I stole something, and I still have it, and 50 years later I still have it, oh, it's still stolen. Okay, and if you are with people who are drinking in a car and you're the driver but you didn't drink, are you not guilty by association? Because you're helping them and you know they're doing something wrong? Duh! You're guilty by association because you're still not denouncing any of this. This Mad Magazine is supposed to be the most like badass and like rebel magazine. But they're just a kiss-ass American at the end of the day. They say whatever about Trump or this person or that. But at the end of the day, they're still an American and just kiss and just pick they hate Trump, but yet Abraham Lincoln's a good guy. Both of them would be equal. If Abraham Lincoln was around today, he would be exactly the same as someone like Trump, a bigot or just whatever, not liking anybody who's... use any example of anybody. Nobody understands that because the forefathers or people from years ago are glamorized as, I don't know, good people. Like, our name, American, is Amerigo. He freaking kept a diary of living with the natives and went back and said, and he's the reason why we stole all the land and killed them all. Columbus, Washington, D.C. is the District of Columbia. Columbia, named after Columbus. He chopped natives' wrists off if they weren't Christian. Abraham Lincoln, scumbag. Andrew Jackson, he's on the $20 bill. Oh, you bet you nobody even knows it. Look at scumbag. They all just took the land and put the natives into reservations, which are glamorized concentration camps. All America is a lighter Nazi Germany. I mean, look at it. Hitler forced the swastika and the Nazi symbol and flag all over everywhere, right? Our country, everybody, they enslaved themselves by worshiping and putting it everywhere. That's the con. Everybody thinks they're free, but they're enslaving themselves, and that's why people think it's different. Woo! So, America, check out my tramp stamp. The stolen land I love. It's a great tour. There wasn't much to see.